Good morning, everyone. My name is Megan, and I am going to be taking over ITA's Instagram account to talk all about my life here in Greece, teaching English online. I'm also going to be talking about my time teaching English at a high school in Hungary for 2 years, and about my time using teaching online to support myself through graduate school. I'm going to add a question box here so you guys can ask me your questions, and I'll try to get through them throughout the day. But for now, I have my first lesson with VIPKID, and I'll check in about an hour. Hi guys, I just finished my first couple of classes with VIPKID. Now I'm going to have some breakfast and tell you guys a little bit more about myself and about teaching. So like I said before, my name is Megan. I grew up in Chicago, but I went to high school in Dallas. And I went to the University of Kansas for my bachelor's degree. I studied theater studies there, and while I was in school, I studied abroad here in Greece. And while I was studying abroad here in Greece, that is how I met my now husband, Aries. After I finished my bachelor's degree, I got my TEFL certification from ITA. I took the online course because I was currently working, and so it was a great way to be able to work and still earn money while also getting your certification. While I was interested in coming back to Greece, I really wanted to work anywhere in Europe, and since my husband is an EU citizen, he would be able to live and work anywhere with me in the EU. So we started looking at different countries that we might be interested in. ITA's country profile chart was extremely useful in this process, and when I came across Hungary, I read all about the Central European Teaching Program, which helps assist teachers move to Hungary and teach English there. So I taught English for 2 years in Hungary at a private high school through the Central European Teaching Program. While I was living in Hungary, I started teaching English online with VIPKID to supplement my income. After living in Hungary for 2 years, my husband and I decided to move to Greece, and I continued teaching online throughout my graduate program, as well as now throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. As far as visas and immigration, I was able to secure a residency permit for Hungary for the 2 years that I taught there, thanks to the Central European Teaching Program. So they were able to assist me with everything immigration-wise. And while I could have gotten a student visa since I was doing my graduate program here in Greece, my husband and I got married, so I was able to get a marriage visa for Greece. But there are other options than getting married to get an EU residency. Again, utilizing ITA's country profile information, using the resources that your advisor can give you at ITA, they can all help you with your options as far as where you're looking to teach abroad. My first break is just about done. I have 3 more lessons, so an hour and a half until my next break, and that's when I will show you guys my classroom and talk more about teaching English online and that experience. Okay, time for another break, and I'm going to tell you all about teaching English for VIPKID and show you my classroom. So I started teaching for VIPKID over 3 years ago. I started in May 2017. I also started teaching with GoGoKid about 1.5 years ago, but most of my lessons are with VIPKID, so that's my primary company that I teach with. To work for VIPKID, you need to have a bachelor's degree in any subject. You also need to be eligible to work in Canada or America, and you also need to have 2 years of experience with children. That can be nannying, babysitting, coaching, or teaching. Of course, since you are teaching English online, you have to have a computer or a laptop, or with VIPKID, you can also teach on a tablet. You also need a headset, a fun, colorful background or a neutral background, and props. I'll give you guys a full tour of my apartment later today, but now I just want to show you my classroom and the setup I have. It's a little makeshift because we only have 1 bedroom, so we had to put my classroom out here in the living room. But here is my desk setup. I have a very bright light here. Lighting is extremely important for teaching. Parents want good lighting. I also have the natural light coming in, which is great. I have my rewards systems here. VIPKID does not require a supplementary reward system, but they certainly encourage it. I have some spiders here. Don't worry, those aren't real. I have my dino doll, which is the mascot of VIPKID. My microphone, banana, some lollipops, a star. I have all of my props printed out here, my 2D props, and they're all just kind of categorized by what kind of goes together. So I have all the flags here, transportation here, fruit, vegetables, weather, seasons. I prefer to use 2D props because I travel a lot and they're easier to take with me when I travel. The hiring process with VIPKID can vary from person to person. I'm going to say it usually takes about a week or two. There is an initial interview demo. There's also mock classes that you need to pass. So there are several stages in the interview process, and so it can take about a week or two before you get hired. Another thing I should have mentioned with the requirements is that you're able to teach during peak times in China. So that is going to be Beijing time from 7 to 9 p.m. or all days on Saturdays and Sundays. So that schedule works great for me here in Greece because it's the afternoon is the peak time. So every day is different for me. It's especially been different during the pandemic because I've been able to work even more. Although I've been able to work more and I have had plenty of bookings, a lot of teachers haven't seen as many bookings. So one disadvantage with teaching English online is that bookings are not guaranteed. There is no minimum for VIPKID or for GoGoKid for that matter for how many hours you have to teach per week. Parents do like to see some consistency in your schedule though. So the more that you can be consistent, the better it is typically. As there's no minimum, that is great for people who really want to travel and teach at the same time because you're able to go to new places, check out the internet first, and maybe then open up slots. That's something that I did a lot when I was able to travel more. There's a pretty wide range for the students I teach. I have had 3-year-olds before. I actually have quite a few of them, but I also have had 18-year-olds. Typically, the students are between 5 and 12, but you can get older or younger. My base pay with VIPKID is $8 per class, and as long as I teach more than 45 lessons per month, I get an extra bonus. So I get a bonus for finishing classes and actually for starting classes. So I'm getting $10 per class or $20 per hour. There's also opportunities for what's called short notice bookings. So it's an extra $2 per class if you are booked within 24 hours. So I can get paid up to $24 per hour. VIPKID does have their own platform, their own app, so you don't use Skype or Zoom, you log in through their platform. And when you do, the PowerPoint is all ready to go for your students, so you don't have to do any lesson planning. What I love most about teaching English online is the flexibility. I'm able to change my schedule however I want, so I can teach, I can not teach, I can take days off, I can make it whatever I want, which is especially great for someone like me who loves to travel a lot. So pre-pandemic, I was able to go back to America a lot and still teach while I was spending time with my family. I was able to travel around Europe and still make some money while traveling. Okay, so I just finished teaching for the day. I taught from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., pretty typical day for me. And now I'm going to give you a quick tour of the house and a breakdown of our bills and expenses. Okay, so this is our living room. Our kitchen's off to the side. It's a little too messy to be seen. There's our bathroom, our bedroom, living room, teaching area with the kitchen behind it, and our outside balcony. Okay, here we have our balcony, little sitting area for having friends over. You can walk over this way and you can see the water. Beautiful day here in Greece. It's a very windy day today, but I wanted to do a story here at the beach. I run to the beach almost every day. It's one of the greatest parts about living in Greece is that you're never far from the sea. Okay, so after teaching all day and my run to the beach, I'm all ready to go to dinner. We're gonna go and have a nice dinner out tonight since tomorrow I'm not teaching and I have a day off. Hi guys, so I am home from dinner and I'm going to answer just a couple of questions before I get ready for bed. I got a couple of questions about working for VIPKID as far as being a native speaker, and yes, you do need to be a native speaker specifically from America or Canada or have a North American accent in order to work for VIPKID. For those of you who are not from America or from Canada or maybe even a non-native English speaker or an L2 English speaker, ITA does have an article about companies that hire non-native speakers and your opportunities to teach English online that way. Okay, so last answer for today was all about me learning Greek, and I had a couple of people ask me about learning Greek, and while I haven't really needed to since I have my husband to translate for me, I have been working on it. It's been a very difficult but rewarding process. Thank you all so much for following my takeover today. I hope that you learned something. If you have any other questions about teaching English abroad in Hungary or in Greece or online or going to graduate school while teaching English online, feel free to find me and message me on my personal account. I'd be happy to talk to you more about teaching English abroad. And in the meantime, it is nighttime for me here in Greece, so good night, or as we say in Greece, kalinikta.